Today you're sketching with me. We're having some one-on-one sketching session while I show you how I use my alcohol-based markers on tone paper. I am a big fan of tone paper, and today I'm gonna show you what I believe is the key to have a successful tone paper illustration. And since it is Halloween season, I figure we needed to stay on theme, and we're gonna do some Hocus Pocus Fanart. Alright, and I already did the illustration we're working on today. Here it is. It's the Sanderson sisters. Here you can see my reference photo. And I am using my tan paper. There's also tone gray, but today we're going with this one. I think it fits better with the look that I am going for, so this is for another day. And why tone paper? Well, I would say that apart from it being a stylistic choice that I really love, tone paper really gives you a great range when it comes to values. If you were using white paper, you can only go down. There's nothing whiter than white, it's the highest value already. But if you're using tone paper, you're starting in the middle. So you can go up and then you can also go down. So it really allows you to bring all this depth and volume and contrast into your illustration. Here are our markers. We have some prismacolors, some Copics, some chart packs, a little bit of everything. And the way I approach coloring, it's, this is not digital. You don't have the undo, you don't have an eraser. So I start with the lightest colors and I build up from there. I like to be very cautious. So let's start with a peach color for the skin, and their outfits are green, purple, and burgundy. So let's get some light color versions of those. And before I go in, I would recommend you to always have an extra sheet where you test the colors, because this is not white. This already has like an inherent hue to it. So always make sure you test your colors or you swatch your colors before you apply them, because again, we have no undo and no eraser. First, I like to start by coloring in the edges and the places I know will eventually be dark, making sure I keep in mind form and anatomy. This plane here, it's a great example on how to color to accentuate form and shapes. Look how much volume it adds to Winifred's face. And as the markers dry, they get lighter, so I like to do multiple passes in each color in order to darken the surface. And you can tell that I don't only color in things. No, I use my brush strokes to add volume, to add shape, to add detail, to add texture. Look at, for example, what I did with Sarah's hair. So like I said earlier, it's really about building up, like I'm really building up the illustration with my strokes. And I think they might seem like very minor things, but I think they can make a huge difference at the end. Okay, and this is where we are after, let's say, our first pass of colors, which all of them were pretty light. There isn't a lot of contrast yet. So now let's do the next round where I'm gonna really go in and add darker colors. I will also say that I feel a little bit bad about Sister Mary. The eyes are having a little bit of trouble, but if worse comes to worse, I can fix them with my little trick at the end. So again, stay tuned for that. But now let's continue with this. Now I'm gonna use my clay rose color, and I'm gonna use this to start darkening the shadows on the skin. As you can tell, I left a lot of parts without ink. The way I see it, it's the parts that have no ink at all. They sort of serve as highlights. But now that I have added this darker clay rose, I can go back with my original peach color, and then I'm gonna start taking the peach color further. So you can imagine this now becomes a mid-tone. So I'm gonna start to go deeper or further with this sunsetty pink. I'm gonna take some orange and yellows, so we're gonna use those for Winifred's hair. Okay, and here again, we're gonna continue to make sure our strokes add to the illustration. Remember, each stroke matters. I love markers so much. To me, they're so fun and therapeutic, and when I do it, I don't necessarily look for perfection, because that's what makes traditional mediums so special for me. Alright, this is starting to get messy. All these markers have been used. It's starting to come together, and I still think we could go a little bit darker, but before we do that, I'm gonna take my color erase pencil and I'm going to fix my line work. I'm not gonna say it's something unique, but it's something part of my style. I like to do red line art. This is not a marker, but I like the mixed look. And also I think the red really helps to make the skin feel more alive. And you'll see how that also brings a lot of contrast too, because like this red can be perceived as a very dark value. Alright, and now that we're done with the red line, now it's finally time to show you my little secret. And probably by this point I don't even think it's a secret. It's not anything crazy, it's something pretty predictable. But yeah, my secret to take this to the next level is... it's just basically a white pencil or a white marker. Like I said at the beginning, we're working with a medium value as our base, and this allows us to go down and up. So far we've only gone down when it comes to values. We keep making things darker and darker and darker, and now we're gonna use our white to start adding highlights. And the difference that this makes, it's huge. Huge, huge, huge. Everything starts to pop more. So I'm gonna focus on this now, fully concentrate, and I will see you guys once I'm done and I have the final result ready. And for this we're going to add white on the parts we had left without ink before, as well as in the parts that should be white or that would have a strong highlight. Finally, Sister Mary's eyes look decent and clean and open. You might be wondering why pencil and not a white marker, but basically white ink is hard, if not impossible, to blend. So this pencil allows us to apply different pressures and achieve some nice seamless blending where needed. I like to add a white border to separate my characters from the paper, and now I'm gonna go back and add some final details using the markers again. Alright, are you ready to see the final result? Dun dun dun! Here are the Sanderson sisters. I'm actually pretty happy with the way it turned out. I think Sarah is the one that looks the best. Winifred looks okay, even though I sort of messed up the eyelashes. And then Mary, she looks good, but I don't think she looks that much like Mary. But overall, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. To be honest, I just wanted to do a simple video. I wanted to draw and chill, which I haven't done in a while. So hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully you learn a thing or two that you can incorporate into your own illustrations. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and happy Halloween.